Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
I like cereal, but I ain't a serial killer. And today on Forget What You Heard, you know, we're gonna keep rolling. Keep rolling. Yeah, we're just gonna keep it rolling, man. We're gonna do some touch on the draft a little bit, you know, give some dark horses that we've been diving into, and then we're going to get into the NBA playoffs. But first and foremost, how you doing, Brother Bear?
Yeah, lemons are good, man. Thanks for asking.
Man, I'm glad the lemonade tree's doing well.
Yeah, man, it's sprouting, getting some leaves, getting some greenery. Lemons are very slept on, and I like to make that announcement. Lemons are a great fruit.
Amen.
Very beneficial, smell good, sour, but sweet.
I will second that and say I like lemons in my water.
Lemon water.
Amen, brother. Well, let's get this started a little bit, you know what I mean?
Please, yeah, man. Let's get into this, man.
Some draft storylines we're looking forward to.
Okay, interesting.
I think this draft could go a lot of different ways. It could go chalk, for all we know, or it could be a trade bonanza. We don't really know. Like, I'm starting to, you know, it's been too quiet on the Western Front, as they say. So I'm thinking there's some trades under the table going on. Maybe unnecessary, maybe trading out the top 10. Because this draft isn't what it's been, you know, cracked up to be, maybe, you know. I think we all know it's not that talented, but I just think this draft can go a lot of ways. It should be I mean, it's going to be a fun watch either way, no matter what happens. But
Can't wait, man.
I'm just saying, you know, what are your thoughts coming up? The draft is this Thursday, by the way.
Yeah, Thursday. But I agree with you, man. The fact that we're not hearing a lot of speculation on trades, to me, means that there will be some trades.
You hear the alarm bells ringing.
There's not a lot of leaks going out, and that's kind of weird. Normally, it's like we kind of figure out who's going 1. You know, this team's going to move up to 5. We're not hearing that.
Yeah.
You know, we hear, you know, Thibodeau's dropping. We hear more about the players than we do about the teams. And that, to me, makes it seem like everyone's, you know, keeping to themselves. Not a lot of leaks getting out there. And to me, yeah, that makes me skeptical. That makes me think there's something brewing. And I do agree with you that I think we're going to see a lot of weird, unexpected moves, a lot of unexpected prospects going. Because, I mean, we've made 2 mock drafts, and it's, I mean, more than likely, you know, 5 of those players don't, you know, fall into the second round. Right. You know, there's going to be players that slip, players that go way earlier than we expected, and it's going to be a, you know, clash of the titans, man. It's going to be insanity.
I think Elon Musk is censoring the trade leaks now that he has Twitter.
I thought he was there for freedom of speech.
That's what he wants you to think.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. It is interesting. Maybe it's because the draft, like, the players aren't that good.
Okay. You think teams are just uninterested?
I don't think there's going to be a lot of, I think it's going to be a lot of trading out to get more picks later on. Because there's no bell of the ball. There's no diamond in the rough. Or there's no, you know, prize possession. Like, there's no Trevor Lawrence, there's no Andrew Luck, there's no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but to me, when you're trading out, that means someone's trading in.
That's true.
But with that said, I mean, do we expect teams to trade up for QBs? Is that kind of what we expect? Or
yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. If they do trade up, it's going to be for a QB, or maybe it's like a jousting match on, like, you know, they want a certain guy and he fell, but they don't know if he's going to fall more, so they trade in. Like a Derek Stingley.
Yeah, or Jameson Williams.
Yeah, or something like that.
I think the most interesting storyline to follow through the draft, though, is obviously the QBs. You know, do we see the Saints move up? who goes where, because I don't think anyone has a clue on what these teams are going to do there, Like, to me, that's super interesting because there's literally no idea until it happens.
Yeah, I didn't really start getting into drafts until podcasting, and now, like, I see Thursday night is an event. Like, I'm looking forward to sitting my behind on the couch and watching some draft action.
Yeah, man, I got that written down on my calendar in highlighter yellow.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
That thing's
It's
bursting.
hard to read highlighter yellow, though.
Yeah, but you know it's there. You ain't gonna miss
exactly.
it.
I like that.
You won't miss it, man.
Do you have any bold takes or anything? I have one hot take.
I want to hear yours first. I'll have to think about mine, but I'll get at you with that.
Like I said, I think there's more trades than expected, but I think that the Jets trade for Debo.
Ooh.
What do they have? They have the 10th pick, 4th and 10th.
Yeah.
I think they used that 10th pick because there's been murmurs of them trying to get DK, AJ Brown. They've been in all these talks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's pretty evident that Debo wants out of San Francisco. I saw a video of him in the club, and they had bottle service coming out, and they had a sign that said Debo staying in San Fran. And if you look at him in the background, he's laughing and, putting his hand to his neck saying, "That ain't happening."
Wow.
So I think that was pretty evident. And I think, it would make the Jets cool, man, if Debo went there. I don't know how he feels about playing for the Jets. I don't know how I feel about Debo, how he's acting right now, but
yeah, there's a lot of question marks going into this Debo situation, but you think all it would take would be the 10th overall pick?
I think there would be more. 10th, I mean, sheesh. Debo hasn't been healthy his whole career. Last year was his first year healthy. So you're taking a risk even giving him the 10th pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, it sounds like the Niners are looking for 2 firsts. I know that's just rumored,
Please.
But I mean, if you wouldn't give him the 4th overall pick?
Dude, me personally, I'm not trading for Debo. I'm not.
Okay.
He hasn't been healthy. When did he get drafted? 2017?
Has it been that long? No, it hasn't. He's not.
2019?
What, 3 years ago? Yeah, maybe 2019, 2020.
He hasn't had a full season until this past year. I don't know. I don't think very highly of Debo as a player, honestly.
Have you thought of any other landing spots for Debo? Or is that just
they
the
said
one
he wants to play at near home, which is he grew up in South Carolina, so the Carolina Panthers. But who would want to go there right now?
That's
or maybe
true.
Florida, Atlanta,
Jacksonville.
You can't go to Tampa Bay.
Could.
Atlanta Falcons, maybe. That would be pretty. I mean, I would respect that one, but I don't know. I think the Jets are the ones that have the capital to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole Debo situation doesn't make a whole bunch of sense to me. It's kind of confusing. So I know he's looking to get paid like a big-time receiver, $20+ million a year. But I guess that he doesn't like the fact the Niners are using him in his role, the running back role. But it's so he's going to get less money because I guess he's considered like half a running back, half a receiver. Is that the complaint?
I think that's part of it, but I think it's the wear and tear on his body, being a running back and a wide receiver, rather than being just a wide receiver.
Okay, I have an issue with that. He's soft, if that's the reason.
He's soft, man. He's soft. Well, first of all, he's literally soft because he's always injured. The 1 year he's good, and I'm about to go on a little rant right now.
Okay.
But he's soft. He first year healthy. Now he deletes everything off his Instagram. First of all, Debo, who made you? Kyle Shanahan, the
Correct.
gimmicky offense.
Right.
He's the one that puts you in this role. He's the one that puts you in the position you're in right now. And I think that the way you handled the situation, kind of childish, is like a slap in the face. And if I was the 49ers, I would be glad to get rid of you.
See, I think I think it's a perfect match. For Debo to complain about his role doesn't make a lot of sense, because if you want to be a great player, you continue this role. He had a great season. I mean, he's one of the best receivers last year, doing the running back stuff. I mean, he had 1,400 yards receiving. I mean, you're not going to get any more than that. he's asking out of a Niners team that's using him in the way he should be used to get, less stats to play for a lesser team. Like, I don't understand. I mean, this dude is just, he has one good year, and he's asking for all this money, and he's complaining about the role that made him succeed. Soft. Get him out of here, man.
Yeah, I don't know what happens to wide receivers when they taste that glory, man. They say they can become divas overnight, and I've seen it quite a few times lately.
Success in the NFL now is how much you're getting paid, and it's sad. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, that's why I like Cooper Kupp. He's like, I'll get paid what I think I deserve. I'm not trying to break the bank. So shout out to Cooper Kupp. That's a real one. He just likes to play ball.
That's a rarity.
And win Super Bowls. But yeah, Debo saga is kind of weird, but I just thought we'd touch on it. But let's get more into the draft a little bit.
Okay.
Me and Luke compiled a list of players that not everyone may know, but could become stars in the NFL in sometime in their career. So we got a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end.
Yes.
That isn't highly touted. Probably won't go in the first 3 rounds. Maybe they will, but you want to get us started with the QB?
Yeah, my I guess we could say dark horse or sleeper or.
Yeah, I mean whatever term you want.
Yeah, okay. Quarterback, I'll take Bailey Zapp. I mean, there's a few quarterbacks down here. Carson Strong is a guy. E.J. Perry, another name from Brown. But Bailey Zapp from Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Is he the one that broke the record?
Yeah, he has
Case Keenum?
Single-season passing yards and single-season passing touchdowns in FBS history. This was at Western Kentucky. He's very efficient. I think he's a guy that can eventually become like a solid starter in the NFL. He's sneaky athletic. He ran, what did he run? He ran a 4.8.
Not bad.
Not bad.
You got some wheels on him.
He can do it a little bit. And I think his biggest thing is his arm strength, too. That goes a long way in the NFL. And, yeah, I don't know. Well, he's very intriguing to me. That's the main reason I had him here. And I think the collegiate success with the passing yards, the touchdowns. I mean, even, Western Kentucky's not much, but just being able to do that shows that he's at least capable of becoming, a decent player in college and in the NFL.
Yeah, I think, seeing from Case Keenum and people that break that passing record, they end up having long careers.
Right.
In the NFL because they're
solid.
They're dang gunslingers out there. They know how to throw that ball. They know how to complete passes. So I think if anything, he'll be a backup or for his whole career, which isn't a bad gig. But he could also be a Drew Brees.
Ooh, did you say that?
Yeah, I said it.
Interesting. I agree. I think he can become like a solid starter. I'm not sure about his ceiling. I mean, you have to put that to the test, but I just like him as a sleeper pick, maybe 3rd, 4th round QB. He's just kind of been overlooked, given his collegiate success, and we'll have to see if that translates, but he would be my sleeper.
I like it. I like your pick.
Thanks.
My sleeper horse is Cole Kelly from southeastern Louisiana, 6'7".
That's a tall one.
Yeah, just a giraffe of a man.
Yep.
He did actually get invited to the scouting combine.
He did.
Me and Luke got to see him throw a little bit. He was chunking that thing downfield like it was like a little baseball.
Yeah, we saw him a lot because he was throwing for the receiver drills and everything. That dude was active.
Yeah, he was active but accurate.
Yeah, he's cool.
That's
man.
what I liked about him. And for those that don't know, he's a little bit of a runner too. I think he scored like 40-something touchdowns in his career, rushing touchdowns in his career or something.
Yeah, it's true.
So he's just someone. He caught my eye.
Yeah,
he caught both of our eyes. And
no, it's funny because as soon as you saw him at the combine, you're like, "Who is this guy?"
I just noticed that he was 6'7".
You're like, he's huge. And then you saw his making some good throws. You fell in love.
He seemed like the most consistent one. That wasn't the one with Malik Willis, but it was.
No, it was the day before. But that proves that love at first sight is a real thing.
Yeah, man. I tell you what. Yeah, so I have Cole Kelly out of Southeastern Louisiana as my sleeper horse quarterback.
You think he could go third or fourth round, or is he?
I don't really know what his stock is, but I'm sure he'll get drafted somewhere. Someone will take a flyer.
Someone will, yeah.
You have to.
Do
I'm just hoping they're not. His comparison isn't like Paxton Lynch or Brock Osweiler, because this guy's got it.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly that is, but he's got it by golly.
Yeah, hopefully he lands in a spot where he's not just like stuck as a backup, and he can actually like
Fight for starting.
like actually go in
Steelers.
training camp and like.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, there's a lot of teams that need quarterback. Let's go to the running back.
Sure.
Our sleeper horse.
Would you like me to share first?
I would love that.
I'm going with Pierre Strong Jr. out of South Dakota State.
Wee.
He's 5'11", 202 pounds. You know,
Big.
he is what he is, but he ran a 4.37. That's very fast.
That's extremely fast.
Yeah, dude, the dude's got
NASCAR.
Yeah, Jackrabbit. You put on the film, dude, and he's just electric, man. He's very straight line speed. He's not much of a receiver, which if he was a receiver in college, I feel like he would be more well known. He'd be one of these running backs, top 5 running back in his class. But shoot, dude. Last year he had 1,600 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns.
Dang.
So he has a knack for playing good football. And, he's just a special talent, man. He's very powerful. He's got a good build. 5'11", 205 pounds is very good. He's got 3,000-yard seasons. He's very quick. Like, his acceleration is very good. He's got natural instincts. And he's just well-rounded. I think, to me, like, watching him play, he's kind of like Alvin Kamara. I'm not going to say he's going to be that type of guy, but I feel like he could be utilized in a role like that. He'll probably be more of just like a first, second down type of guy because we didn't see his receiving like that. But just his speed and stuff, I'm in on Pierre Strong. I think he can. I think he can be relevant in his rookie season on a team if he gets the opportunity.
I like that. I like Pierre. I'm going to go with the running back out of Florida International, Devontae Price.
Not familiar.
Yeah, he's a senior. He's been through a lot of injuries. Last year was his best year. He had 129 carries, 682 yards, averaged 5 yards a carry, 6 touchdowns. So it's nothing to blow your hair back. But this guy's got the intangibles. He's got the physical tools. He's 6'2", 215 pounds.
Okay.
And he runs a 4.38.
Wow.
He's got dreadlocks.
Okay.
He's from Florida.
Right.
International.
Right.
Panthers.
Okay.
Add those up. Budding superstar.
Interesting.
I haven't seen tape on him or anything. I just kind of knew when I read his makeup and what he's got going on, his draft grades and everything. I think he might be older than a lot of the other running backs, but I think that he could take the league by storm in some alternate universe. So.
Hey, it's possible. I appreciate, him and you. So I just want to mention before we move on, Kevin Harris, running back, South Carolina, very high recruit coming out of high school, but he had a very serious back injury, but he is 220 pounds, runs a 4.4. He could be like a 6th, 7th round pick, but he's a much better player, and if he's healthy and gets drafted to a team, he could be one of the best running backs in this whole class. So I just want to shout out Kevin Harris.
Shouts. All right, you want to do wide receiver?
Yeah, man, wide receiver was tough for me. There's just so many good receivers in this class, so many interesting prospects. Khalil Shakir was one, Jalen Tolbert. But I'm going to go with Tyquan Thornton out of Baylor.
Sick 'em.
He's a guy you probably remember seeing at the Combine.
Blazing a trail.
He ran a 4.28. Obviously, speed is a big thing in the NFL. You find your way on a roster just because of that speed. But I love the fact that he's 6'3", and he ran a 4.28. You know, that's a combination you don't find.
How much does he weigh?
He's 180.
Oh, man, he's a slender
Very
man.
skinny. But the combination of the height and the speed is very rare. You don't see it. He could be a deep threat for a team. You know, maybe like he could be a John Ross. I mean, he has that type of profile. He's a little taller, but, you know, NFL teams prioritize speed. And just I like the 6'3" frame is just interesting because if he can add on some weight, get some speed, he can play the game. I'm very, very interested. And I don't think he doesn't have a ton of weaknesses. I think he's got good hands. He showed it at Baylor. He's very smooth. I mean, he's not very strong with his hands. Deep passes, he normally, you know, what's it called? Basket case.
Oh, man, basket case.
And he's small, so he can get knocked off a little bit. So those are my two weaknesses. But other than that, I think you should take a gamble on that type of frame, that type of profile. Tyquan Thornton is my dark horse sleeper.
Yeah, he's definitely not built like Mike Tolbert.
No.
Baylor.
Mike Tolbert's having a 3-course meal as we speak.
I tell you what, maybe add a fourth to that one. Baylor's interesting. They're like sneaky wide receiver U.
Sneaked.
They got them freak boys. But my wide receiver is also in the Big 12. His name is Eric Kanma
Okay, yeah.
from Texas Tech.
Yep.
And you guys all know by now, I like the big wide receivers, the rangy guys. This guy's 6'3", 220 pounds.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's a big man. He's a mammoth of a man.
That's Josh Gordon frame.
And he ran a 4.4.
Okay, yeah, Josh Gordon, man.
And he put up, decent numbers in college. His sophomore and junior year, he had about 700 yards and about 6 touchdowns apiece.
Okay.
So he put up a little bit of numbers.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I like Big 12 receivers, I think.
Yeah, they have great ones.
Yeah, I tell you what, except for UT, man, what's going on there?
Soon.
But,
#soon. UT.
Yeah, so I have him as my sleeper horse.
I like him. He's a big frame. He's probably the best contested catch guy in the draft, man. He goes up and he gets it. I like him.
All right, let's go to the tight end.
Tight ends. Let's see what we got going on over there, man. Tight end for me, sleeper tight end, Jelani Woods. My favorite tight end in the draft. He's very interesting, man. He was recruited to be a dual threat quarterback. He committed to Oklahoma State. His sophomore year, transitioned to tight end. He's 6'7", 260 pounds. And
dang, holy mackerel.
Yeah, I mean his senior year, he had 600 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns, which was at Virginia Tech. He ended up transferring from Oklahoma State to Virginia Tech, and he's a freak. Like I said, 6'7", 260, but ran a 4.61. He's very athletic, super athletic for a 6'7" guy, and he actually ran the fastest 40 time of any tight end taller than 6'7" since 2003. He's a pretty solid blocker. He's got good bend, man. He's got the wingspan, and I think I'm taking a gamble on the athletic profile. You know, you don't see a 6'7" guy run a 4.6. He has a lot to work on. He could be, the 4th or 5th tight end taken in the draft, but I think he has a bright future and could be and will be a special player in the NFL.
Yeah, I love that guy, honestly. I really like that pick. My guy might be the sleepiest horse there ever was.
Okay.
In draft sleep horses.
Okay, we got horses
that are sleepy.
Horses in the back.
I haven't heard that song in a while. I have Jamal Pettigrew.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
Jamal Pettigrew. He started his career at LSU, then transferred to McNeese State. He's 6'7", 243, ran a 4.7. This is why he's the sleepiest of horses, because last season he had 7 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
What happened there, man?
I'm not really sure, but this guy's going to turn it around. He's going to bring it around town. Then he's going to do this, that, and he's going to become the next Mo Alley Cox.
Whoa.
He's going to find his way. He's going to scratch and claw his way from the practice squad to the bench to the Sunday night football, baby. And I'm going to back him 100%. This is a campaign for him. Hopefully he gets drafted, but I don't know.
You have a few guys that I'm going to be following just to see.
See if they get drafted?
Yeah.
I'm hoping, this is like my guy, I'm hoping it's like the Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft, and I would be stoked to have him be Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, I haven't heard of 2 of those guys, man. I'm very intrigued to see what you know, man. What's going on? What's backing that bark over
I'm
there?
going to be honest with you, man. I just looked through it, and I thought, like, no one's probably ever heard of these people. Let's give them, like, maybe their name has never been mentioned on a podcast. So, in a way, we're shouting them out. You know, I don't know. Who knows? Definitely not Jamal Pettigrew. So, shout out you. I hope you get drafted. I hope you can provide for your family for the rest of your life. And if football doesn't work out, man, I know you're a smart kid and you'll figure it out. So, shouts out to you and your family and friends.
Yeah, man. I mean, if he gets drafted, that's great. But, loop and pull, your shoes are looking cool, man. That's all I got to say.
Hey, man, I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's change lanes.
Okay, this is what I'm waiting for, man.
NBA playoff action. It's very intriguing. All right, let's, we're going to get straight into this. Someone get this man, Ben Simmons, a diaper.
All right.
This guy needs to sleep with a helmet on. This guy might be the worst teammate of all time in any sport, in any situation ever. Comes to the games dressed like Prince. And he's laughing and carrying on, warming up. He's saying he's going to play game 4. Next thing you know, he's out game 4. Not showing up for his teammates when they need him the most, when they're on the brink of elimination. He'd rather dress up in his little dandelion shoes and his little Carhartt hoodies, and rather than suit up and play with the boys when the season is on the line. They're obviously struggling. They need something. Mm-hmm. They're playing the corpse of Blake Griffin right now because they're trying every option. And Ben Simmons is over there laughing and carrying on, eating hot dogs on a stick. It's unacceptable, it's disgusting, and it's a disgrace. He should be ashamed of himself. I'm tired of these excuses. This just, really, 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 really ticks me off, man. It shows you that not everyone that plays in professional sports loves the game they play. Ben Simmons is a perfect example of this. It's disgusting, Luke. I'm just, could you help me out?
I mean, Ben Simmons is about as useful as a cereal box.
I'll tell you what.
He'll hold your cereal, but as soon as you run out of that cereal, man, you're throwing the box away. Recycle it. You basically said it, man. I mean, you had your little rant going, and I agree. I think this guy is a bunch of fluff.
Fluff.
You ask to get out of a situation because your mental health. You ask out of the situation because you don't like so-and-so. You get traded, man. Fresh start, new start, Let me get healthy, get ready for the playoffs. I'm back. We're making a run. We're in the playoffs already? I'm not healthy yet, man. Come on, I don't love this game. I'm not showing up in the playoffs. I mean, come on, man. What are you going to do? What do people expect from Ben Simmons nowadays, man? I expect him to fly over to Australia, play basketball over there, play video games. I'm sick of Ben Simmons. I'm sick of hearing it. And, dude, he's done it all to himself. Like, how do you expect people to feel sorry for Ben Simmons?
I don't think at this point, I don't think anyone can.
There's no way, man.
You had 11 months to rehab and be healthy. And it's been 11 months and you woke up and your back hurt? What were you doing? Cartwheels in your hotel room? If I was a Nets teammate, I'd fart on his pillow until he got pink eye.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, how did your back hurt if all you're doing in warm-ups is passing
And rebounding.
taking 2 dribbles and doing a little side gig?
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're not even playing 4-on-4, 5-on-5 yet. Your back's hurt from sitting in your gaming chair playing video games all day?
And let me just say this. I've always backed Ben Simmons.
You have. It's true.
Yeah. I've always been on his side. I've always been his apologist in a way. But now I just can't do it anymore. That was the final straw. I was looking forward to tonight, Monday, that he was going to be suiting up and playing with his boys. Win, lose, or draw. He was going to show up and play and show a little heart. Turns out he's the tin man. He ain't got one.
Ooh. Dang, that was cold, but that was real, you know?
Yeah, man. I got to keep it real with Ben, man. I got to keep it real with Benjamin Simmons, man.
To be honest, I'm tired of talking about Ben Simmons, and I can't wait for the day for him to fly to Australia, and we no longer hear from him anymore.
Yeah, and he joins a gang of wallabies in the outback where he belongs.
Yes.
But, yeah, we got that off our chest, but, does it look like the Nets are giving up, or is the Celtics defense just that good?
The answer to that double-worded question is yes. The answer is yes.
So it's a mixture of both.
It's a mixture of both, man. I mean, just watching a lot of the Nets' body language, gives me a sense of maybe they've given up, or maybe they feel like they don't have a chance, or maybe they're tired of each other. At the same time, I think the Celtics defense is very, very good. I think they're the best defense in a long time in the NBA. And
Ever.
It's just the combination of both, I feel like, is the reason that the Nets have yet to win a game in this series. And I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens. Because if the Nets do get eliminated, who is to blame, is my question to you. Who do we blame?
I was just about to get into that. I like that. It looks like KD will get a lot of the blame.
Correct.
My question to you, is he getting too much of the blame?
No.
Why is everyone forgetting about Kyrie Irving? He's also a superstar, and he's literally been MIA. Game 2, Game 3, didn't do squash, but everyone's putting the burden on KD. Yeah, and you know what? Me personally, I don't think they're giving up. I think it's just frustrating the heck out of them that they can't do what they want to do, and they're not able to get to their spots like they usually are. Because Jason Tatum's gotten Super Saiyan. Like we all know, he's been an offensive juggernaut for a while, but seeing him, I didn't think he'd ever be good at defense. But the way he puts his body on Durant, he uses his length, pokes at the ball. He might be, taking the crown from KD.
Whoa.
Hey, oh.
Okay, so Tatum, I want to say, Tatum's averaging 29.7 points per game, but his defense on Durant has been A+.
Oh, it's been A++, double A, Ron.
I mean, we knew the Celtics defense going into the series would be incredible. We knew what they had, what they're capable of. But I don't think anyone expected Tatum to outduel Kevin Durant. I think the reason I'm going to blame Kevin Durant is because the Nets are Kevin Durant's team. He left Golden State to get his own team in Brooklyn. He was the guy. And they decided to break it up. Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, all these guys were still here. Great players now. You decided to make the trade for James Harden. Expected to make a run. Didn't work out. You trade. So, to me, with it being Kevin Durant's team and him trying to build up a team with stars and stuff, just because it didn't work out, I don't think he doesn't deserve the blame.
He does or doesn't deserve the blame?
He does. In my opinion, he does deserve blame.
All of it?
Not
most
all
of it.
Most of it, yes, 100%. And the fact that he's not showing up like we expected him to. I mean, yeah, the defense has been incredible, 100%. But he only took 11 shots in Game 4, or Game 3, I apologize. And he just hasn't been super aggressive. I mean, he hasn't been assertive. Even Steve Nash at halftime was like, yeah, like KD has to be aggressive in the second half, and it just never happened. I mean, I know they're denying the ball, but KD just has to get the ball, and he has to do more than just rely on the long mid-range, on the post-ups. Like, let's see the guy who goes downhill, gets to the rim, gets fouled. We just haven't been seeing that. And just his body language is telling me that he's not super interested, he's not super invested. And, maybe he's tired, maybe he's sick of it, but he deserves blame because he's not performing the way he should. He's not giving 100%.
Let me push back a little bit on that. I think KD is doing all that he can. I don't think he's given up. I don't think that he can do more. I think that the Celtics defense is that frustrating and that good. Having Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart interchangeably can guard anyone, really, 1 through 4. And their hands are so active. Like I can see frustration from Durant, but I don't see give up. And basketball is a team sport. Yes, Durant is one of the greatest scorers we've ever had, but that's asking too much. Like, he's got another superstar in Kyrie who's sitting in the shadows. No one's putting any blame on him. He's saying all the wrong things in interviews. Kyrie and KD, they're kind of already conceding to the Celtics. Like,
right.
They're saying Celtics know who they are. We don't really know who we are. Maybe the whole vibe is just, I think at the end of the day, the common denominator is that Ben Simmons is a negative Nancy and he brings down the whole vibe of the team. But I would push back and say that it's more the Celtics defense and their game plan on Kevin Durant than Kevin Durant giving up on the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, I see that.
But I understand your point.
But he has a lot of open looks that he hasn't been knocking down that we're used to. Like, but
it's like he can't get into that rhythm.
Yeah, he can't get into a rhythm.
He's not getting to the free throw line. He's not getting to the basket, so it's hard for him to get started.
Right, yeah. Credit to the Celtics defense. I'm not taking it away. I'm just saying, if you're crowned to be the best player in the NBA, we expect more. Even against the best defense, even against the best teams, you have to do anything and everything to adjust. You have to find ways to make your team better, find ways to get, points, the ball into the rim. I mean, there's no excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is LeBron, we're dogging on him. LeBron can't handle this. LeBron can't do that. It comes with the expectations, being known as one of the best players in the world. I mean, if Giannis is having this performance, he's getting dogged too because we expect more. We expect this to be a series, not a sweep. So I think KD does deserve most of the blame for that.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying as well. This is like reminiscent of LeBron in the finals against the Mavs. Remember, he struggled mightily, but KD's having an even worse finals than LeBron did. And I think if I can remember correctly, like, LeBron got destroyed. Legacy, like, could have been bad if he never got back on his feet. But for KD, I think I don't know if it would tarnish any of his legacy. I mean,
no, I don't think so.
To your point on, like, he's the best scorer, like, he should overcome these obstacles in some way, but at the end of the day, I think these people are human, and, like, I don't know if you've ever gone, like, they go through slumps, and they mentally, like, being attacked like that defensively, I don't think anyone's ever played this good of defense on Durant in his career.
Right,
so
I agree.
It might be like a shock for him, like, I've never had a guy that's 6'9" that can actually stay in front of me.
It's true.
Contest every one of my shots, but
he deserves blame for that, though.
Yeah,
even if you go through slumps.
I'm not saying he's blameless.
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah, but if he's that guy, he's got to be that guy. You know what I mean? That's why he's.
But you're saying because of it, it's not because he stinks. It's because of the defense. Is why he's not.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, credit to the Celtics defense.
100%.
Yeah, so
they've been absolutely incredible.
incredible. And Jason Tatum is really, really ascending like to a crazy level.
Rise of a superstar.
And I like all the. We've been waiting for this for a while though from the Celtics. Like, can they all coexist? But yeah, it's happening. We'll see if they can sweep the Nets tonight. Let's move on to another series in the East. The Raptors and the 76ers. It looks like Fred VanVleet's out. I think they should say that he's playing and put Drake in a uniform and have him go out there.
Gosh.
Because Drake can put money under the table and say, hey, man, I'll give you $30,000 if you let us have this game. And it's still only 3-2, but it looks better for the Raptors. That's just a theory I have.
They look similar, but if Drake was out there on the court, man,
Isn't he 5'10", too?
He's not anywhere like... he probably would be... His plus-minus would probably be like negative... 32 in 16 minutes.
I heard Drake dribbles with two hands.
Yeah, I mean,
and he shoots granny style.
Yeah, I wouldn't even pay to watch it.
I got a question for you though.
Sure.
Is it time to get used to Stink Harden?
Yes.
Oh, I was not expecting that. I was expecting you to say, who's Stink Harden?
James Harden.
No, I mean James Harden.
James Harden is in Philly is not the James Harden of Houston. And I think it's time that we acknowledge that.
Thank you.
My question is the Philly James Harden, is that enough for the Sixers to make a push? And to me, I don't think so. I know his playmaking ability hasn't gone anywhere, but he just does not look like the same guy.
He can't beat anyone off the dribble anymore.
He's running in mud, man. It's those hamstrings injuries that he's had the last few years.
Yeah, it looks like he has cement on his feet.
Cement? Yeah, it does, man.
Cement, yeah.
It's tough, man. I mean, he's an MVP, 3 straight scoring titles, breaking ankles, top 3 player in the league. He's no longer that guy, and he never will be.
I think they can still make a push, though, with James Harden. He can still be I think can still shoot the ball from deep. I just, like you said, he's not what he used to be. He's lost a step. I definitely don't think it's because people know how to play him now. I just think he's literally old and doesn't take care of his body. He's had one too many Hennessy drinks in the past
sipping Hennessy
9 or 10 years, however long. But I think it's time we get used to Stink Harden.
I also think a big thing is like how the new rules have kind of like him getting to the free throw line. They added those new rules, and it really took away from his game. Because he was one of those guys that was shooting 20 free throws a night, and like now it's like they're letting him play a little more. He's not able to do that arm thing where he locks up as much. But like you said, he's still a great shooter, shooting 39%. He's one of the best 3-point shooters ever. That's not going to change because he's still the same shooter, but definitely not the same guy. And I'm concerned that he might not be good enough anymore to get the Sixers over the top, because they have to have the James Harden of old to get there. They have to.
I like how you brought up the rule change and fouls called for James. Are the refs doing too much in this series, or just in the playoffs in general?
Playoffs in general.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the discrepancy between free throws, it's like one night, one team's getting a boatload and the other's getting little, and then it flip-flops, and it usually changes the outcome of the game, and the coaches are really upset. It's to the point where it's starting to get to the point where the refs are deciding these games, and they're playing God, if you will, in these games, and which is what you don't want to happen. It's what happened in the Stanford experiment when the prison guards and the prisoners, back in the 70s or 80s, the prison guards, people volunteered, but the prison guards became so power hungry that they really treated the inmates like badly because they had that power to do so. And it was like a social experiment, and they switched the guards and the prisoners, and the same thing happened again. Like, people had to quit. It was like a crazy experiment, but it's like something the referees they get power hungry, and they're like, we have these whistles. We can potentially change this playoff series or game. And it's getting to the point where, they need to be checked big time.
Yeah, I agree, man. You see it in every series. I mean, they've been, they had it right there in their mouth, man. They're ready to blow it at every second, every little thing they see. It's been kind of hard to watch in terms of watching the refs and dictating games. And I mean, even the Memphis and Minnesota series has been absolutely brutal. I mean, it's just tough, man. There's not really anything you can do because, I mean, if you start yelling, you argue technical, you get fined. Like you said, it's almost to the point to where it seems like they're very power hungry, and they know it because there's no retaliation. There's nothing you can't physically do anything. You can't verbally do anything because, I mean,
They'll throw you out.
Throw you out. They'll fine you. So it looks like there's no winning unless Adam Silver comes in, steps up, and say, hey, let them play a little bit. Let's get back to real basketball, refs.
Yeah, get rid of Scott Foster, man.
Golly.
Why do they keep putting him in playoff games with players he hates?
I don't know why they allow, terrible refs. They obviously know who's terrible, right? I mean, if everyone knows it, it's just, they need to look in the mirror and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, let's go to that's 3-1. 76ers, I think they'll win that series.
Yeah, they will.
I think they'll win tonight.
They'll win by a lot tonight.
Next series, Jazz Mavs tied 2-2.
Jazz Mavs, okay.
This is a strange series to me. With all the dynamics going on in Utah with Donnie and Rudy. But somehow the series is tied with all that turmoil and stuff. Luka just got back. Is it time for the Jazz to blow it up? Or is this the beginning of an inspiring love story between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert?
We're past the love story.
Come on, man. I love him.
This is turning into a villain versus a superhero. Blow it up. Rudy Gobert's gone. Don Mitchell...
Mitchell's more likely to be gone, isn't he?
I don't know, because, I mean, what happens to Rudy Gobert? I mean...
He's making all that bread.
I'll be honest, though. It'd be cool to see Rudy Gobert on Toronto. If that's just an interesting idea, because, they love the long, tall players.
Yeah.
And he would fit on that team very nicely. So.
They actually could use him.
Yes, he would be perfect for them. But just Utah just asking to, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, but I do think they should blow it up. Dallas is favored to win this matchup, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And it doesn't seem like they get along, man. It doesn't seem like anyone likes being there.
Yeah, and I think the longer the series goes on, the healthier Luka gets and the less the Jazz chances. But I have a question for you. Jalen Brunson, what is he?
He looks alien.
No, I mean in terms of a basketball player.
I think he's gonna get the bag, man. They could have gave him an extension this last offseason, a 4-year, $50 million, which would have been smash. But I think he's a good player, man. I just think with Luka being the guy, having the ball in his hands all the time, I think Jalen Brunson can be a starting point guard on a team. But I think, we saw that whenever Luka was out with the injury. But when Luka comes back, Jalen Brunson doesn't have the same role. He's not putting up the same, numbers. So I hope he leaves and he gets signed a nice contract, what he deserves, and becomes a starting point guard for a team because I think he showed a lot. And I think he's a really good player. I really do.
You're not hearing me, man. What is he?
I think he's a starting point guard, man.
That's it?
Yeah, he's not
a star?
No.
All-star?
No.
Superstar?
No.
Above average player?
Yeah, he's definitely I think he's a good player. He's solid. I think if he can get to that point to where he can I mean, he did it a little bit in the series, but if he can be like a number 1 or number 2 and be reliable every night, then yeah, he can be an all-star. But I mean, we only saw it in what, 2 games, 1 game of the series.
I don't know. I think there's something special about Brunson.
Yeah,
And he has potential to be an all-star.
potentially for sure.
I mean, it takes a special kind of person to drop a 40 burger in the playoffs. You know, and if he has his own team without Luka,
yeah, I'd love to see
do you
it.
think he's a cornerstone, like someone to build around? Not, he won't be the best player on a team, but like the second, third best player on a championship team. Is he? Or is
Yeah, potentially I could. I mean, you seem like he could be like a Van Vliet. I think that's like
yeah,
a ceiling.
I like that.
If he can, become like a great 3-point shooter.
Ceiling. I think his ceiling is higher than that.
Really?
I think he's all around a better player than Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, maybe a little
Like
bit.
his
Van Vliet's a
passing-
better 3-point shooter, but
I think his basketball IQ is
might be higher.
yeah.
But he's more of a true point guard. I think Van Vliet's like kind of a 2 guard.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they are similar in a way that they can become more than what we expect in terms of their potential. Like Van Vliet, we had no idea he was an all-star this year, and he can put up 20, 25 points a night.
I'm still not sold on VanVleet. I don't really understand what the hype is on him.
No, but I mean, I just think they're similar. Maybe.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I like the comparison. I'm just saying for me, I'm not.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a Fred VanVleet fan, really. All right, let's go to the next one, bub.
Sure.
We got the Heat and the Hawks. 3-1, Miami.
Okay.
I might be sick in the head, but I love seeing Trae Young getting bullied and not getting foul calls. I absolutely love the torment that he's going through right now. The sadness in his eyes, the no bowing to the crowd, the no throwing up the gang signs to the crowd, going back to A. He's getting put in his place, and it's showing me his poop stinks, just like the rest of us. He's not, I don't think he's superstar like we're all just anointing him. I think he has flaws, and I think he doesn't know how to change his game. Because the Hawks are deep. They're a good team, even without Trae, I think. But I think he doesn't know how to maneuver when he's not getting his. He doesn't know how to get everyone else involved, because they could still be a really good team and win games, even if he stinks. But he doesn't know how to facilitate or maneuver around this. If he's not getting going, ain't no one getting going. And that's the type of player Trae Young is, and I've noticed it. And it's been revealed to me during the series. And I love that they bully him, and he's physical. He's not getting the foul calls like he's MJ anymore. And they're treating him like the little lollipop head that he is.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think you nailed that, man. You nailed that whole segment. That was very, very good, because it's true. I mean, he doesn't make his teammates that much better. They kind of have to create on their own. And I mean, Bogdanovich is a great player. They're surrounded by really good players.
It's a deep team.
They're very good. But like you said, Trae does not know how to play the game when he's having a bad game. Like, he always continues to take bad shots. He tries to get in, get turnover blocked. And I agree, but also kudos to the Miami Heat defense. I mean, dude, they're really darn good too.
They are.
Like, a clash between the Heat and the Celtics, like, defensively would just
the game might be like 56-57.
Yeah, yes, it would be, because they're fundamentally sound. I think they're the most fundamentally sound team in the NBA. Like, the little things, like boxing out the big men down low, doing like the small things, the basic things in basketball. They do it so well, and they care. Like, PJ Tucker is one of the best, most fundamentally sound players in the game. Jimmy Butler too, the way he plays is just very smart. We're high percentage shots. And speaking of Jimmy Butler, it's playoff Jimmy. I mean, that's what we're seeing in this Atlanta series. I mean, he's been on fire. I mean, last game, 36 points, 10 rebounds, 57% shooting, 4 steals. This is the Jimmy that they need to see. This is the Jimmy that we've been known to see. And we didn't quite see it last year. Kind of throughout the regular season was hit or miss, but he's getting hot at the perfect time. And the Heat are a very dangerous team.
Yeah, I think you said it. To have your star player get hot at the perfect time when playoffs start this is exactly what makes the Heat scary.
Yeah.
Is Jimmy Butler at this Jimmy Butler level? At this level, I call him Jimmy Buffet.
Okay, he eating, man.
Yeah, man, he's eating everything he can see. He's stuffing his shirt and he's stuffing his shorts.
Yeah, they've been great. Max Strus is another guy who's kind of been playing well. I mean,
Oh, Jersey Shore boy.
Jersey Mike.
That guy sleeps in the tanning bed before the game.
And then getting Oladipo minutes is cool. Tyler Hero does his thing. You mentioned Trae Young. I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
You had those opinions on Trae Young. Would you rather have Trae Young or Ja Morant?
Probably Ja Morant.
Early.
I'm really skeptical of both, but I think Ja's more of my type of player. He cares more about his team success than his own. I think he looks out for his teammates, and he's more like unteachable talent, like a freak athlete. Trae Young's a lollipop. He's not faster than you. He's not bigger than you. He can't jump out of the gym. He just can shoot and get fouled. So I like the more sure commodity with Ja Morant. He's a freak athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting better. And, I'd pick Ja Morant.
Yeah, I think I agree. I just think the one thing that separates them is, I mean, obviously the shooting, but the biggest thing is, like, Trae's a pretty clutch player when they need him. Like, big moments, Trae normally does the right thing, makes the big shot. And I'm not sure if I can trust Ja to do that just yet. So
it's a very good point because Ja's actually been not very good in crunch time
No,
against the Timberwolves.
Not at all. But we'll get to that series because Minnesota's been very good on them.
Yeah, you got another series for me?
Yeah, let's move on to that one, man. Shout out to Ja Morant, though. He was announced as the most improved player in the regular season. That was announced not too long ago. So, congratulations.
Congrats, Ja. I think you should have been more in the MVP race than the most improved, but
well deserved.
You'll take it. Yeah, you deserve it, man. You really have taken a step or 3 or 4. You leaped, dog.
He sure did, but Minnesota knows how to play Ja. That's one thing that I'll give him credit for. Even in the regular season, that Minnesota was the toughest team that Ja has faced. They just know how to play him.
Wall him off.
Yeah, and for Ja, he found a way. I mean, they lost last game, but he had 15 assists. I mean, he's starting to figure out a way to contribute in other ways.
That's what I like about him.
You can't just be one-trick pony, and he's starting to understand that. And he's also dealing with, he's not 100%, which I think is a big reason why the series is the way it is. But both these teams are young and confident, but the Grizzlies are growing faster than the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that was beautifully said. I would 100%. I think. Yeah, I definitely think the Grizzlies are growing faster. I think they're already more mature in a way. I think if you look at them and they were like, if the Grizzlies were a person and the Timberwolves were a person, I think the Grizzlies would be like a guy with a 3-piece suit on with a slicked hair. And I feel like the Timberwolves would be like a, untucked shirt, blouse with long hair blowing in the wind, kind of wild person.
Young, wild, and free.
Yeah, and the Grizzlies are more, rigid, clean, and just, play by the rules, when the Timberwolves have that little edge to them with Patrick Beverly in there, and they kind of feed off him, and I think it's like those kids that your parents didn't want you to hang out with because they were a bad influence on you. That's what Patrick Beverly is for the Timberwolves, but I'm not going to say it's a bad influence. It's just an influence to give them that extra edge.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few takeaways from this game. Brandon Clark's been very nice. He's kind of been their X factor so far this series.
I think he's a solid player.
He's darn good. I mean, he showed up in big games. He's played good defense.
He's just always in the right spot. Like, I like watching him, actually, like, in possessions to see what... I mean, he doesn't, like... But he works hard, and he's there when you need him. But it's just interesting to see a guy that plays the right way, just watching him every possession.
Yeah, he's got a high IQ. He's like a higher IQ Aaron Gordon, like a high flyer, very active, just a better version of Aaron Gordon.
More reliable, yeah.
Yeah, like solid player. Jaren Jackson has to play better. He has to.
100%. I mean, we've been saying this for a while. I forget he's playing. Like, he's not even a factor sometimes, you know.
He almost seems like a liability.
Yeah, with all the dumb fouls and his shot's not going. When his shot's not going in, he doesn't ever have a presence in the post. You know?
No, he doesn't.
On defense, he does, but offensively, he doesn't have moves. He doesn't crash the glass that hard. It's not like... It's very strange. He's always on the perimeter, and he'll shoot that shot, or...
He'll get a block now and again.
Yeah,
like
but it's
nice
not...
block.
He doesn't assert himself like a star or someone that wants to be in that spotlight would do in that situation. I don't know if he's, passive or what, but we got to straighten that out, or I'll have to do it.
Yeah, he's very, very, very raw. I mean, he's averaging over 6 fouls per 36. And in the playoffs, you got to be playing more than 36 too. You got to be getting 38, 40 in playoff time, man. You got to play those big minutes and be one of those players. But had that the first game. He had 7 blocks, a few points, but he just has to be better. I think he's got to be better, especially against Cat and everything, and the foul trouble. They have to have him on the court to really, take a run at it.
Yeah, I mean, Cap came out of his, litter box.
Yeah, he sure did.
He played really well, but he needs to find out who he is, man, like, as a person. He needs to stop, like, with these gimmicks and looking at the ground and, say your own. Like, what's your personality, dude? Are you weird or are you cool? To me, you're a weird guy, but we can work on that, man. You're a good player. You have to show up. From here on out, there's no excuses no dumb fouls, none of that, and just be cool, dude. Don't do all these weird things when you're wired up, or what is it, mic'd up. Just be cool, man. Don't get a lot weird on it.
Yeah, he is a bit strange. There's no doubt about it. There's something a little weird about him, which is cool, man. I mean, everyone's different.
Yeah.
But I do respect him. I respect Karl Anthony Towns because he hasn't had a great series. He was very unhappy about the amount of touches that he'd been getting, and he let him know about it. And he comes out in a must-win game in this series, drops 33 points. He's angry. Angry Cat is a scary cat, I'm going to be honest. Like, this dude, when he's demanding the ball, when he's not scared, when he's attacking the rim, he's a very good player, top 3 center in the league. And he's got to continue that. He's got to continue that hunger, that fight. And he's not backing down. And I respect that out of Cat.
Yeah, I respect the heck out of him. I just say those things jokingly, like tongue-in-cheek, because, I don't know, when me and Luke watch him, I notice weird things about him. But he's a fine player, and I think... he shouldn't have to stoop to those dumb fouls and be in foul trouble. When he goes, Timberwolves go. I think they feed off that, his energy and his shot making, and he's an incredible talent. So I don't want to take anything away from him. He's a good kid.
Let's move on. Milwaukee Bucks, Chicago Bulls series. Who would have thought Grayson Allen would have been the guy that stepped up for the injured Chris Middleton? Grayson Allen had 22 points in their last meeting. I would have never guessed that Grayson Allen would have been the guy.
I thought he had 27.
He had 22. Did he have 27?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had 27.
Dang, that's even crazier.
You got them stats on him? I might be talking out of my butt.
For the Bulls, they don't have enough. I mean, that's just what it is. I don't think they have enough, man.
Oh yeah, this series is over. Milwaukee's too good, even without Middleton. I mean that hurts, but hopefully he can get back in time for, the second series, round 2. Because I mean, they've been getting blown out, the Bulls, the last 2 games, even when their stars are their field goal percentage and stuff looks good, but they just don't have enough, like you said. I think we all expected this, come back next year, Bulls, but you can basically, ride it off as, Bucks win the series.
Yeah, it's kind of been a steady decline for the Bulls after their great first half of the season, regular season. I mean, DeMar DeRozan was a front runner for MVP. He was huge in clutch time, fourth quarter big shots. Lonzo Ball was poised for a breakout season. Zach LaVine, all-star level play. But when Ball got hurt, DeMar DeRozan slipped. LaVine didn't distinguish himself as a superstar. And now they're looking at the door of a first-round exit. And LaVine hasn't been very good in his first playoff series. And it almost seems like it's a repeat of the same Chicago Bulls, like you said. And just because you start off strong in the regular season doesn't mean you're going to go deep in the playoffs, man. You got to keep true all the way through.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but it's just too little too late for the Chicago Bulls. Zach LaVine ain't good.
All right.
I'll stand by that.
Is Giannis the most dominant player since Shaq in terms of physical dominance?
Yeah.
Really?
Sure, yeah. There's not much you can do when he gets a full head of steam and he wants to get to the basket. There's not much you can do. Or if he gets an offensive rebound and he decides that he just wants to dunk on you, he's going to do it. It doesn't matter who's on him. It's scary. It's very, very frightening to see. The thing about Giannis is he has that mindset, like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to dunk on you. I'm going to get to the basket. He's not scared, even though he's not the greatest free throw shooter. He just has that mindset of a killer, of a monster that knows that you can't. There's not much, like, no one can do anything whenever I want to do this. So he's got it all, and I think he does it very, very well.
Yeah, him and to a lesser extent Joel Embiid are very similar in that way of just.
Oh yeah,
no
Joel definitely is in that domination, realm of players. Like, he knows that, dude. He's the biggest guy on the court most of the time, and he can do everything. He can shoot, he can post you up mid range. Like, it's very scary.
He might even be more dangerous than Giannis, if we're being honest.
Oh, for sure. I think, like, they're neck and neck for dominance, but on both ends. I think Joel kind of bullies people when he's playing defense.
He's mean.
He doesn't care if you're, he's not scared about bigger guys driving by him. Like, it's weird. He, like, dares them to do. He'll get out to you to contest your three, but he's not scared if you try to drive by him because he's going to be there and he's going to send you into the fifth row. He bullies people on off. Like, he's a bully. Like, I'd say he's more of a bully than Giannis. Like, he'll tell you about it, and, like, he's got more of the bully in him. Giannis is just a freak.
Yeah, and for me personally, I enjoy watching Joel play basketball more than Giannis. I think his game is just more fun, more exciting, and just the bully factor. I mean, after any play, he'll throw a quick little elbow. Like, he'll finish a play off with an elbow, and, like, that's so old school. That's so bully ball, and it's more fun to watch. And the fact that he can shoot, he can create, he can dunk, he can post you up, he talks trash, he's physical, just more enjoyable to me.
I have to get something off my breasts.
Okay.
I like Joel Embiid, but I root against the Sixers every game.
Why?
I just don't tell anyone.
But what does this come from?
A big part of it is James Harden and Doc Rivers, and sometimes Joel Embiid rubs me the wrong way. I don't like that he cries about fouls and stuff and claps at the referees. He has some antics that rub me the wrong way, but I still like him as a player and person. I just find myself subconsciously rooting against the Sixers at any opportunity, and I don't know why, but I mean, I guess I do know why, but it's just something I wanted to get off.
Okay.
On air.
I'm glad you got it off, man.
Thanks, man.
I'm proud of you for doing that. I think it's fair.
You don't have those teams that you subconsciously are always rooting against? And you can't really put your finger on it because you like the player, like their star player, or like what they got going on, and they don't win every year or anything. There's just that one team.
Not really.
Yeah, I always thought that's why I wanted to get off my chest. I think it's weird that I think that this happens to me.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it. I can't. I mean, for sure. It's kind of like, I mean, I kind of feel that way about Giannis. I love Giannis. He's a great human being. But, like, when it comes to, like, playing basketball, I think he's boring. I don't have any animosity. And I think that's.
But you don't root against the Bucks. You don't hope they lose, do you?
No.
Oh, see, yeah. Because they got Bobby Portis, man.
Yeah, you got to love Bobby Portis. But, I mean, just off the top, man, no, not really. I mean, maybe Dallas. I mean, I hate watching them win. But
that's a team I have an outward.
That's a rival.
That's a conscious decision to root against Dallas.
That's true. But no, yeah, I can't relate to that. Let's move on to the next series, man. New Orleans and Phoenix.
Interesting. Things are getting interesting.
I know you like this one, man, big time.
I'm very, very. This is like a perfect series now that. I mean, speedy recovery to Devin Booker, but we get to see if DeAndre Ayton is worth that bag, boy. In the first game without Devin Booker, he put up them numbers, man. He's putting up them big boy numbers. He's playing very well. I think it's kind of beautiful to see him blossom like that. When they needed him, he did. Well, that was game 3. Game 4, I don't know what his stats were in game 4, actually.
Valanciunas made him look like a little water boy.
Oh, but not game 3?
I don't know. I
think DeAndre Ayton had 28 and 17 game 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Valanciunas had like 28 and 15 last night. Was able to come out with the win, but yeah, I mean, for sure, with Booker out, Ayton's got to be that guy, but the Pelicans' depth has been key in this series. I mean, their defense has been really good against Phoenix, especially against the threes. Phoenix is only shooting 29% from 3, and as a team that has to improve. I mean, they haven't been able to knock down a lot of threes, man. And Mikal Bridges, I mean, you mentioned Ayton has to step up, but I think Bridges has to step up, man. I mean, this dude has been struggling offensively in this whole series. And he's a rising, talent in the league, man. He's got to play up, man. He's got to perform. And
he had 23 and 8.
Who did?
Ayton? DeAndre Ayton.
Okay.
On 11 of 14 shooting.
Yeah, that's a really good game.
I think we can put that last game on Chris Paul. The worst playoff performance he's ever had.
I have a theory.
Yes.
Who's the coach of the Pelicans?
Willie Green.
Willie Green played with Chris Paul in New Orleans back in the day. Correct?
Correct.
Willie Green knows Chris Paul personally. He knows his secrets. He knows how to play Chris Paul.
I'm not buying this, dude. I know where you're going, and I'm not buying.
You're not buying it?
No, because it doesn't matter if he knows Chris Paul. He had 3 good games before that, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a 22 and 12 night.
Yeah, I think he just had a very bad game in that little Alvarado guy.
Dude, they're playing Chris Paul so well, though. The last 2 games. I mean, they've figured something out. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Phoenix has no more breathing room in this matchup.
I know Alvarado made him get an 8-second.
Yeah, and then he stole one, too.
Yeah, like they're getting, and Herb Jones, they got a little beef going there now. Herb Jones Jr.
They're figuring it out. I'm telling you, Willie Green
I like
knows.
the Pelicans, dude. I'm rooting for them now, but I wouldn't say that it's gonna go 6 or 7. Would you?
Yeah,
Wow.
I do. I think they're out of breathing room, and they have to play.
Wait, it has to go 6, right? Are
Yeah,
they tied
it's
2-2?
2-2. Yeah,
I don't think it'll go 7.
I think it might, dude, because I think if you can play Chris Paul good, I mean, that's really the only guy. I mean, Mikal Bridges has struggled. Their whole team can't make a three. 29% as a team.
They need Cam Johnson.
I mean, Ayton had one good game, but Valanciunas is a handful.
2 good games.
Valanciunas is a handful. He's probably the better center right now, overall, if we're being honest.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, right now, he probably is, dude. I mean, that dude is very, very good.
Yeah.
And Brandon Ingram. Are we forgetting about him, man? He's been one of the best players in the playoffs so far. Last game, he had 37 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. I mean, dude, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, Brandon Ingram is a very, very good player. And he can get another game.
You said something that really irks me.
Okay, man.
That Valanciunas is a better center right now.
Yeah, I think he might, right?
What?
Yeah, probably right now.
Game 3. DeAndre Ayton had 28 and 17. Valanciunas had 6 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
That's the game without Devin Booker, and then he had 23 and 8.
Yeah, but Valanciunas went off.
Well,
in game
bygones be bygones. DeAndre Ayton's my boy, and I'm standing by him.
No, I think Ayton long term is going to be good. I'm just saying, like, center right now, I think I trust Valanciunas.
You're wrong.
I think he's a really, really good player.
I think he's a really good player, but I think DeAndre Ayton's the better center.
Okay. That's fair.
I'm saying that with my heart.
I think you can't go wrong with either one. Valanciunas, I think I can rely on a little more.
Yeah, he can get you 6 and 11.
Yeah, he did.
But that ain't going to get you over the hump. DeAndre's going to get you 20 plus.
What happened the next game?
I don't know it, but what did Valanciunas have the next game?
28 and 15.
Who did?
Jonas Valanciunas.
DeAndre Ayton bested him.
No.
23 and 8.
No. Valanciunas is nasty. They're both very good. I'm not trying to diminish Ayton. He's a good center. I'm just saying.
Did he earn the bag or not?
I don't know.
He's got to win this series.
He's got to win the series, man.
CP3, man, get off your ass. Let's do some math.
Willie Green's got him figured out.
Willie Green, more like sneak.
Denver. Seeing the Pelicans play the way they're playing right now, is Zion sitting in his chair, rubbing his belly, watching this team play?
100%, man, and he is a big, big man.
That's true.
He can put away some food, man. He's looking like he's a hefty boy out there, man, but I think he's like, wow, like, these guys are, going toe-to-toe with the number 1 seed. Yes, without Devin Booker, but I think C.J. McCollum is a huge addition for the Pelicans. And B.I., Brandon Ingram.
Supreme.
He is a fantastic young player. I think Duke is Florida University, man. Jason Tatum and Brandon Ingram, they're kind of similar in a way.
A little bit.
I'd say a lot of bit.
Okay.
Would you not?
They're similar.
Yeah, like offense.
Defense,
they're sneaky good.
B.I.'s more downhill. A little bit more downhill than I think Tatum is.
I don't know. I'd have to disagree.
Really?
Yeah. I likes the mid-range just as much as anyone.
But you don't think he's a
pull-up guy, too.
You don't think he's a better, like, around the rim, like, downhill, getting to the, like, layups and stuff?
I think it's neck and neck. I think they're very, very similar.
Yeah, they're similar, 100%.
I mean, Brandon Ingram's been baptizing people out there, though.
Yeah, like, I think he's quicker. Like, he can get off, beat his man, and get to the rim. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But they're very similar, yeah, 100%.
What were you saying?
Just the New Orleans situation. I mean, at Zion back, you have Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, Valanciunas, Herb Jones, Alvarado. You're going to have a draft capital that you can trade for another piece. I mean, at this point, the only thing Zion wants is an extension. Give him an extension. Maybe package those picks in a trade and bring in another piece. Man, this team is deadly. the way they're looking right now. If you can add Zion to this team, they're good.
Is there a potential that he comes back
In the playoffs?
Yeah.
No. He's going to do what Ben Simmons did. Sit out, man. Wait till the offseason. Come back next year.
That's rank.
Yeah, it smells. Denver versus Golden State, our last series. This is interesting.
Not really.
Yeah, it is.
It's 3-1, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's it's interesting to see the Warriors play out the way they did. I mean,
Yeah, they got 3 Splash Bros now.
the Splash triplets.
The Splash Dash.
If you watch the game, you notice very early and often Draymond Green and Aaron Gordon were gonna fight this game, and it's nice to see. It felt necessary. I love that beef, man. Aaron Gordon and Draymond just seems like a right beef. And they were just talking and pushing the whole
Aaron
game.
Gordon ain't cut from the same cloth as Draymond Green. He'd get his butt handed to him. He'd look like an idiot because he already does.
But it's just cool to see, like, right out of the gate, like, these two people.
I love beef right off the gate.
Exactly.
That's like a hockey fight that the whistle blows and they drop the puck and they immediately just throw the gloves down and start fighting and the game hasn't really done anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. It's just like that, it's going to be a good game.
And, like, it just stood out. And then, like, you could see, like, each possession, they're guarding each other, pushing on each other, talking, and it just keeps escalating. Like, it's just such a good feeling. And I was like, this is a perfect game for this beef. Like, it was, an elimination game for Denver, a little beef going on. It was a very fun game to watch. Draymond Green's good. He's playing really good ball right now.
He's good.
He was plus 18 in 34 minutes before fouling out. I mean, this dude is just, he can do it, Clay's back. I mean, there's no other way around that one. 7 of 11 from 3. He scored like 8 points in like 2 minutes. Just start out and then got into foul trouble.
The resurgence of the Warriors.
Golly, is it? Klay Thompson can get hotter than anyone in NBA history. Like, quickly. No one can get as hot as quickly as Klay Thompson.
I can't argue with that. I mean, I've seen him do some crazy stuff in terms of just shooting the lights out of a stadium.
Yeah.
Like the 60 points in 3 quarters where the ball didn't touch the ground or something. He didn't dribble once. That's disturbed. The Warriors to me might be the favorite to win the West without Devin Booker.
Yes.
And this series is over. There's not much to talk about. Jokic, valiant effort. You got a game. You don't have enough, dude. If your second best player is Aaron Gordon, it's honestly going to be tough to do anything with that guy. That's like dragging a dead body around with you, dude. Dead weight, bruh.
Yeah, I think in Game 4, though, the role players played better. Monte Morris had, 24 points.
And
Barton stunk, but he hit the game-winning three.
The big boy.
But yeah, there's no chance, but it's just cool to fill out Golden State's situation. Kuminga played really good. He started out slow. But is Kuminga a guy that can add a spark to Golden State? Could he be an X factor down the line in a series? I mean, he scored 9 points in the second quarter. He guarded Jokic very good when he was in.
I think, yeah, but I don't think it's going to be offensively. I think it'd be defensively.
Yeah.
When they need to guard one of them freaks.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he can be a sneaky player.
Because they don't need much help on offense these days.
No, Curry had, 33 off the bench or something?
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy to see.
Jordan Poole had an off night, but...
Yeah, it was bound to happen. You can't... the way he was shooting, dude, that was... it was bound to come back... He's bound to come back to earth.
Yeah, he was, but it shows that they have to have his production to win because they lost the game. The game that he did not go off like he had been, they lose. So,
True.
I mean, it's strange, but for them to make a run, they need Jordan Poole and possibly Kuminga to be impactful. So that's what I've kind of noticed in the series is that, I mean, no matter how good Klay and Steph are, they still need that triplet. They need Jordan Poole in any series.
All right, and that was another rundown of some, NFL draft news and notes, the NBA playoffs. Thank you guys for listening so much. As always, we're grateful for the support. We love you guys. We're going to keep them coming. Thanks for listening to another episode of Forget What You Heard. Peace, love, and happiness.
Great.
There was there.